guys, it's Dahlia, and today we are making another pumpkin recipe for this fall season. We're making a pumpkin coconut curry soup. It's gonna be fantastic. This soup is creamy and it is packed with so much flavor, and best of all, it's made all in one pot, super simple and quick to make. So now, let's get started. So I have a pot here heating up over low heat, and to it I'm going to add a little bit of avocado oil. So, to this I'm going to add some diced onions. I'm going to cook this on a medium-low flame, more towards the low side, and cook it for about 10 minutes until the onions are caramelized and translucent. The onions are looking perfect, so now it's time to add in some chopped up garlic. Now just let the garlic cook for about 3 to 5 minutes on medium-low heat. Just make sure that it doesn't burn because garlic burns really quickly. So now let's add in the rest of the ingredients. So I have here some vegetable stock, and I like to use low sodium vegetable stock just because I don't really need all that salt. So if you use regular vegetable stock, just cut back on the salt a little bit since mine's low sodium. Then I'm going to add in a can of coconut milk, and I'm using the regular version sold by Thrive Market, but you can use any brand really. I just wouldn't recommend getting the full fat coconut milk because it might be too heavy. Next, of course, a ton of pumpkin. Now I like to use canned pumpkin, and the only ingredient is pumpkin, so make sure it's pure pumpkin. You do not want to buy pumpkin pie filling. So this stuff is the best. You could totally roast your own pumpkin, but you need a lot of it, so I just figured I would use the canned stuff, and it tastes delicious. Let's add some spices. So I've got some pepper here, some ground cinnamon, maple syrup, curry powder, because this is a pumpkin coconut curry soup. We have some ground ginger. You could use fresh ginger, I just didn't have that on hand, and ground works perfectly fine. And then some salt. Now, I put the spices that I thought worked. If you want to add a little bit more salt or a little bit more curry once the soup is made, you could totally add it. Everyone likes a slightly different amount, so you can always play with it. But for me, this is exactly how I like my soup. So now you just want to stir this, make sure it's on medium-low heat, and I'm going to cook this for about 15 to 20 minutes on the stove, and I'll stir it after about every 5 minutes. I ended up covering this soup because it was bubbling up and just splattering out, so just cover your soup so that it doesn't hit you in the face. So now I'm going to let that cook on low, like I said before, and let's get started on the croutons. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the soup because who doesn't love bread, carbs, and croutons in their soup? So I have here about 7 slices of Canyon Bakehouse honey white, is it honey white? Yeah, honey white bread. So I used up most of it already from this pack, but I just want to show you what the Canyon Bakehouse brand looks like. They are the best, and thank you again to Canyon Bakehouse for sending me all these products because it makes such a difference in my cooking. I love your stuff, and I'm so excited to use it in this video. So I like to take the bread, I let it defrost in the freezer because I always just stick it in the freezer right when I get it so that it lasts longer. So I let it defrost on the counter overnight in a Ziploc bag, and now I'm just going to cut it into small little cubes. So you could do this in big cubes, but today I'm going to make it look really cute and cut it small. Keep in mind that the baking time will vary based on how big or small you make your bread cubes. So because I'm making them smaller, they'll bake for a little bit of less time. If you make your bread cubes much bigger, you're going to have to bake them for a bit longer. And if you're not gluten-free, you could totally do this with any other regular bread, like a honey wheat or a whole grain, something that's a little bit on the healthier side. But yeah, you don't have to use gluten-free bread for this if you don't want to. Don't forget to give your soup a quick mix at this point. It's looking so good. And I'm just going to continue chopping the bread up. So now just transfer all your bread cubes onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Then you're going to drizzle them with olive oil, some sprinkles of salt, and garlic powder. And mix this all up with your hands. You want to make sure that everything is coated in oil. So make sure your bread is spread out evenly. And now I'm going to make this in a 375-degree oven for about 8 to 12 minutes, just until you see they're lightly golden, but they're not too crispy. They're going to be delicious. So I'll see you soon. So while the croutons are baking, let's get back to the soup. So I just uncovered it. It's looking so tasty. But now it's time to give it a zhuzh. That's at least what I call it with this. This is a handheld immersion blender. You can also use a regular blender, and we're just gonna blend this up and make it super, super creamy. Make sure that the immersion blender is all the way down in the pot so that it doesn't splatter on you. Once your soup is blended, just cover it again and cook it on low for about another 15 minutes. So all the components are ready for the soup, so now let's plate it up and give it a try. Now let's add some croutons. They came out so perfect this time. I like a lot of croutons. Also, I forgot to mention earlier that I took aside some of the onions that we sauteed, like in the beginning of this video, so that we could have them for our garnish. So just place those on top. Let's give it a try. It's delicious. Like I said earlier in the video, pumpkin everything is my favorite, and this soup is just the best. You guys need to make this. Head to my website, it's rainingflour.com, get the recipe or screenshot it, you could print it even, and make it today, tomorrow, or for the weekend because it is so, so tasty. You're gonna love it and wanna make it all the time. It's so good. It tastes like fall in a soup. So also, if you haven't already and you want to join this Raining Flour family and see my videos all the time, subscribe to my channel. There's a little subscribe button down below, so click on it and also click on the notification bell so you'll actually get notified when I post new videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it to let me know, and leave a comment letting me know what other recipes you want to see this fall. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!